Okay, good morning and welcome again to Monday Morning Motivation. I am so excited to get this rolling again. My kiddos are finally back in school, so I feel like I have time and a little bit of quiet time in the morning so we can get back into motivation. And I've lost quite a few that were with me, I guess, last spring when I did motivation. So it'll take a few weeks for us to get going and get quite a few people on, but I appreciate those of you who are joining me. And like I said, share this with your team members if you like what you hear. For those of you who don't know me, I think everyone on has been on before, but if you do not know who I am, my name is Aspen Calhoun. A little bit about me. December will be my 4-year anniversary with Sensi, and I can tell you every day it just gets better and better and better. And when it comes to training and webinars and that stuff, motivation is my most favorite thing to do. So I am glad to have someone to share it with. So like I said, I appreciate you guys getting on. This is kind of just a little review thing that I did in the beginning when we started last spring, and just want to remind you guys, and those of you who have never been on before, talk a little bit about motivation here. So why do we listen to motivation? What is the point of all of this? What motivation does, especially when you have your own business, is it plants seeds. It gives you ideas that grow you as a person, that grow your business, and that give you quote-unquote motivation for your day, for your week, for that moment when you need it. I'm going to share some things with you that hopefully resonate with you, that make you think of things that will drive you, that will pull up memories that you had, pull some emotion, put some emotion into your business and the things you do, give you some reasons why to keep going, why to move forward even though you feel like some days you're failing. Give you a reason, especially on Mondays, to jump out of bed and be excited for the day, to give you a reason to say, today's the day that I'm going to make my business work, not because I have to get up and I'm going to put one foot on the floor, I'm going to put 2 foot on the floor, but to be excited Monday morning, to know that you have something to look forward with your business because it's important to you and it's what you want to do and you want to make it work. Also want to give you personal inspiration. Not just me, but there's motivation all over the place, especially since we have internet and we have all these outlets. We have podcasts. We have all these things. Search for those things. Search for inspirational blogs. Give yourself reasons to keep on. Give yourself places to go to look for those who can inspire you. Also through this weekly motivation, I love to share my version of tough love. And what that means is sometimes I'm going to say some things, and I hope they really hit home with you. I hope that sometimes you're a little bit offended at what I say because I'm talking about you without knowing it. I hope that I can pull at your heart a little bit. I hope that I can motivate you in ways that you never thought possible, because that's my motivator, is to help you guys move forward. There's a little quote there at the bottom that I just love, love, love. People say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, so that's why we recommend it daily. You have to continue to motivate yourself, and if you can't or haven't learned to do that yet, like I said, look for outlets, look for places on the internet, look for other people who can motivate you, look for quotes that hit home. Motivate yourself after today. Tomorrow morning, look for something that moves you, and continue to move forward throughout the week. So what we're going to talk about this week is successful people. Why are people successful? There's probably somebody in your life or in your Sensi business, either a sponsor or a leader or someone who's not on your team or someone you've met along the way, whether it has to do with Sensi or not, who you see as successful. So think of that person or those people or people you've met in the past that you thought, wow, she's really successful. How does she do that? And I want to talk about some things when we think of these people or we know those people, what we think. Why are they successful? And the list here is a few of the things that pop into our head when we see successful people. We think, wow, she's really intelligent. She's really smart. That's why she got to where she is. She's business savvy. She went to school. She went to college. She has intelligence. Or we think, well, you know what? She has a great upbringing. Her family raised her right. They sent her to college. They paid for this. They paid for that. That's why she's successful. Or a social status, someone who is in the town you live in or the city you live in, someone who has a social status that you look up to. We think, oh, well, she's successful because of her last name, or because of her friends, or because of who her parents were, what they owned, or these are the things we think about when we look at successful people. And I can tell you, even before we get through all of them, and you guys probably already know this, yes, these are the things we think, but none of them are true. These are not the reasons why people are successful. People are not successful because they're beautiful, not because of their looks. It may seem that way because they may seem a little bit more confident, but it's not true. You might sometimes think, oh, well, she had a better opportunity than I did. That's why she's successful. Well, Aspen started 4 years ago. That's why she's successful, because there were a lot less consultants. These are the things we tell ourselves to give ourselves excuses not to be successful. So remember that the next time you run into somebody you think, wow, she's really successful, it's not because of these things. It's not because I'm brave. It's not because she's brave. It's not because that other person or your boss or whoever that person is brave. It's not because they have an outgoing personality. Now, some of these things can help. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you're smart and you know what you're talking about, it helps your business. If you are brave or outgoing, that helps you as a person. But that's not something you have to be right now. That's something you can learn to be. I've also heard people say, well, she's successful because her husband's really supportive. Yes, it can help you. But does that decide? Is that the deciding factor whether or not you're successful? Absolutely not. You can be successful if you don't have any of these things on your list just because you choose to be. So let's talk about some of the real reasons why people are successful. They take action. People who are successful, especially when they own their own business, it's because they take action and they do the things they think about. Talk never takes you far. You can talk about running a fundraiser this fall, but unless you do it, nothing's going to happen. You can talk about booking parties all day long and how you would do it and how you could do it better than she did, but unless you do it, it's not going to help you out. And ideas, the idea that you might book some events, or the idea that you're going to talk to your neighbor about signing up, these ideas are just ideas unless you act upon them. You have to act on these things that you think about. You have to, the things that you talk about, the things that you learn from the training center, from webinars, from the things you read, you have to work with them and make them work for you. Your dreams can become a reality through action. You can't sit back and say, you know what, I've been talking about Scentsy for 2 years and it's not working out for me. It doesn't work like that. In order to achieve your dreams, you have to act. Reality comes through action, and the only way you can make things happen is through action. You can't make a ball roll across the room by staring at it or thinking about it. You have to get up and move it. So remember that. To be successful, you have to take action in your business and in your life. So number 2, successful people are productive, even when you don't feel like it. This can be most days. This can be some days. You can wake up and, like I said, you cannot feel like getting out of bed. But even when you don't feel like it, if you want to be successful, you must be productive. Productivity isn't always fun. So the things on my to-do list are not always the things I want to do. And you guys know that. If you have a day full of stuff that you have to do, it's not always fun. But in order to be successful and move forward, we have to be productive, even if it's not the things we want to do. The best thing to do is learn to prioritize. If you have a list of what you need to do, okay, I need to call these 3 people because they said they'd book a party this fall, then on the other side of your list is doing the dishes and vacuuming and going shopping. So we have to prioritize what is going to help you with your business best. What is the most important thing? And once you get that done, you can go shopping. You can get those dishes done, even though you don't want to or you don't feel like it. Also, use your time wisely. If you're on Facebook for 3 hours a day, probably not using your time very wisely. Yes, you can work your business on Facebook. Its social networking is amazing. But you are a person, and unless you act and you talk to people and you get out and work your business, you are confined to just that, social networking. So use your time wisely in everything that you do. If you have to mail packages, be sure you're talking to the lady at the post office about the new catalog coming out. In everything that you do, work your business through those things, and you'll be more productive. Now, this last thing, be productive even when you don't have time. Now, what does that mean? I would say 90% of us say we don't have time when it comes to doing crafty things that we want to do, when it comes to reading a book that might motivate you, when it comes to the things that we want to do or being successful, we might say, well, we don't have time. We have kids. We have to run back and forth to school. We have grocery shopping to do. We have meals to make. We have houses to clean. We have another job. Even when you don't have time, it is possible to be productive. So how's that so? Like I said, in your busy time, take your business with you. If you can learn to work your business through all of the things you do, it will up your success rate. You will be that person that when you walk into the bank, they know you sell Scentsy because you've given them a catalog, and they may approach you with something later. Don't be afraid to remind them and be productive through all that you have to do. Do the things you want to do when you have to do the things you have to do. I hope that makes sense. What else? Successful people are very focused. So in order to be focused, you have to have a goal. If you don't have at least one goal, one Scentsy goal or one business goal, you need to write one down. And I say write one down, and I'm the worst about this because I say, yeah, I have goals, but are they written down? No. You have to write these things down because if you write something down, it makes it real. Write it down and share it with someone else because you'll hold yourself more accountable. Goals and plans keep you focused on what you're doing. So say my goal is to, let's see, I want to recruit one person a month for the next 3 months. That's my goal. So if I think about this today, it's the end of August, so 3 people, I got September, October, November, December, 4 months. So I'm just going to think about that today. Tomorrow I forgot all about it. I wrote it down, but I threw the paper aside. You have to, even if you have a goal, you have to keep a focus. So every single day you have to remember that goal. People that are focused on things, people that make goals and running a business or being successful their main thing, you know that. So think about someone that you know is a Scentsy consultant. And when you think of that person, the first thing you think of is Scentsy. That's because it is their main thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this person doesn't have family, doesn't have issues going on in their life, doesn't have things going wrong, things going right. They have other things. But if you make your business your main thing, it will consume you, and that's a good thing. You can have your business be your main thing and still run the rest of your life very successfully. You can move mountains if you are focused, but you have to believe that you are capable of doing so. And I'm telling you all right now, if you don't believe in yourself, you will not be focused. Now, some of you might say, okay, that's great. You're telling me to believe in myself and that I can do this. That's awesome. But that doesn't make you believe in yourself. I can tell you all day long how awesome you are and that you have the very same opportunity as everyone else on this call. But unless you believe it in yourself, unless you convince yourself, unless you read enough and study enough and know your business well enough, you will not believe in yourself. Know that you are capable and make yourself believe it. If you have friends, family, coworkers, strangers around you that are telling you that you cannot do this, they're wrong. Because if you believe in yourself, you are capable and you will move mountains to be capable. So make it your main thing and stay focused. What else? Successful people are positive. Everybody knows that girl that no matter what you say, she has something positive to say back. Everybody knows that person that even when you're having the worst day ever, she's like, oops, tomorrow's a new day. Sometimes you want to kill her, but that's okay too. But you know what? Being that girl will make you a successful person because there is good in everything. In every single failure, in every single time you screw up, in every single time somebody says, no, I'm not booking a party, and every single time somebody says, I don't like Scentsy, whatever it is, there is good in everything because they may come back later. But not only that, but you learn. You learn from everything you do. And in order to be successful, you have to have them moments where even though things around you aren't positive, you still are. Not only that, but being positive is contagious. For those of you who have a team, If you are a downer, if you're complaining about the fall catalog, if you're complaining that we can't order 5 of the scents until the 15th, that's not a good thing because that's what you're passing on to your team members. You have to be positive about everything. Think of the anticipation that it'll create with your customer base that they cannot have those scents until the 15th. You have to think of those things. Think of the positive side of everything and remember that your attitude, no matter what it is contagious. If you're complaining, that's contagious. If you're mad, it's contagious. But if you're positive, it's contagious and it's viral. When you're happy and you're positive and you love your business, even though it's not 100%, it's contagious. And know that it can work even through trials. Like I said before, you have to believe in yourself. Even on the days when you don't feel like believing in yourself, that's going to make it work. That's what's going to make you successful, keeping your chin up and moving forward. A few more things. People are successful because they do not believe in failure. Like I said, you may fall down, you may make a mistake, but you have to be able to look at that as a learning experience. I constantly screw up. I've been doing Scentsy for 4 years, and I still mess up all the time. I have a little story for you guys. I had a party on Saturday, and I went, and first of all, I tripped in the door and dropped the plug-in warmer that went sliding across her living room floor. Picked it up, went out back on the patio where she's having the party, dropped it again, shattered it on the patio. But it's okay because you're only human. These things make you real, and everything is a learning experience. The topper for the party was, when I left all the order forms sitting there. So she calls me later, the hostess, and says, you might need the orders that you took at the party. So what can I do? I can beat myself up about it all weekend, or I can laugh and say, you know what, you must think I'm a real idiot. I promise you I'm not always like this. And I went back over and I picked them up. Everything is a learning experience. I can tell you guys, I won't forget the orders again. And I can laugh at myself because what else can I do? It is what it is. Even though you've been working your business for 6 months, a year, you're still going to mess up, but you can learn from those things. I once drove an hour and a half to a party and realized that I forgot all my scent testers. Seriously. So what did I do? I set up the party, called my husband, and he started driving with my testers. He got there half an hour after the party started, but I was still talking about the product and showing the warmers, and they were excited to smell the scents when they got there. So you have to use those things to your advantage. I can tell you this, too. I haven't forgotten the testers since that night. Self-growth is painful. Every time you fall down, it hurts. It's embarrassing. Someone says no. It's rejection. It's not fun, but that's going to make you better at what you do because you will remember those things and they will resonate with you. Learn to take constructive criticism. People are going to say things all the time. They're not always going to be constructive. There's always going to be those people in your life that say, I knew that wouldn't work out. But you know what? If you're positive and you know that you're growing through these things, you will take it in a constructive way. You know what? They might not believe in me, but I believe in myself. When someone gives you pointers, don't take it as a criticism. They may have been through what you're going through before. The next one is huge. Don't give up. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. No matter what it is, no matter how many no's you get, no matter how many times you try and you fall down, don't give up. Repetition is key, and perseverance is the way to success. If you continue to repeat the things that work for you, you will be successful. And to persevere, to continue through the hard times, there is no way you cannot succeed if you continue to persevere. Successful people are not bound by fear. This is huge. This is one of the biggest bigs. When we think about successful people, they're usually, like I said before, we usually think, oh, they're outgoing. They're very social. They aren't afraid to talk to people. Most of us are bound by fear. Not only that, but success is scary. So here's our biggest goal. I'm going to be a director, or I'm going to have a team of 20 or 30 or whatever the case may be. Success is very scary because you don't know what you're going to do once you get there. But I can share a little secret with you. It never stops. If you continue to grow, you're always going to be scared. There's always going to be that fear. But if you choose to overcome it, if you choose to say, you know what, I'm not afraid because I'm going to learn no matter what I do. And we have to stop with the what if. What if I grow a team and I can't support them? What if I can't train? What if I can't motivate? What if I ask that girl to have a party and she says no? Well, what if you never signed up for Cincy? What if you never became a Cincy family consultant? What if? If you can stop saying that, if you can take the what ifs out of your life, you will move forward in leaps and bounds, because that's how we slow ourselves down. That's how we give ourselves excuses not to act on the things that we want to do. Okay, so this fall I want to do a fundraiser and book 3 parties. Well, what if nobody buys anything? Well, what if she says no when I ask her? What if I invite 100 people to my open house and no one comes? These are the things that stop us from moving forward. Are you a poor me person? This is always part of my tough love thing. And I just want to tell you guys, no matter how bad you have it, someone else has it worse, and that's not stopping them from being successful. You cannot sit around and feel sorry for yourself for the life that you have. You cannot say, well, these are the cards I've been dealt. This is how it is. Wrong. Stop saying, poor me. Stop saying, she started before I did. She's successful because of this and I'm not. Stop saying these things. Stop telling yourself those things, and you will learn to believe in yourself. Because the more often you tell yourself, well, I can't do this because there's 5 other consultants that live on my street, or there's 10 other consultants in the town, I can't book a party. Stop being that poor me person. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and learn to make yourself move forward, because those are the things that stop us. Stop giving yourself excuses not to be successful. Fear is not real. It's a mindset. It's something we think is going to stop us. It's something that, okay, I haven't done Monday morning motivation for 4 months now, and this morning before I got on, I was nervous. But did I post on Facebook? Sorry, guys, we're canceling it because I'm scared. Nope, didn't do it. And you guys probably know me well enough. I do a lot of webinars. I do a lot of trainings. But every single time I get on, I get nervous. My heart's racing. And even though I'm talking to some of the same people, and I know you guys aren't going to judge me, well, you might, but I don't really care. Fear does not stop you. It only stops you if you let it. If you choose to say, you know what, I'm scared, I don't want to talk to her, she's going to say no. What if she says no? Poor me, I'm scared. Stop doing those things. Do not let yourself be bound by these things. And again, believe in yourself, because the only time fear can stop you is if you tell yourself that it can. Let failure not be an option for you. And the last thing, why are people successful? They are driven. If you know someone who is very successful in their business, they are very driven. They have a purpose, they have a goal, they have a reason they're doing what they're doing, and they have a vision for their future. If you don't have a roadmap to where you're going and a destination, it's going to be awful hard to get somewhere. So know where you're going. Know on December 30th where you want to be. Know January 1st where you want to be. And know a year down the road where you want to be. Have a vision for this business and have a vision for your life. Because when you have that, you can have your focus. You can be driven to do what you want to do. And when I say have a goal, I want you guys to know, okay, you can't write down, I'm going to be a director in 6 months. That's an awesome goal. But how are you going to get there? Make your goal look like a ladder. The top rung may be that you want to be a director, star director, superstar director, whatever it is, that may be the top rung, but you have to climb the ladder to get there. You have to have smaller goals along the way that you know are going to get you there. If I have a map and, okay, I want to go, I'm in Colorado for those of you who don't know. If I want to go to California and I have a map, I know that I'm going to head west. If I don't know, and I want to get to California and I head east, I'm still going to get there, but it's going to take me a whole lot longer because I got a lot further to go. Remember those things. Have a map, have a ladder. Draw out your plan on where to get where you're going, and that will keep you driven because you'll have a plan. You're never going to wander to the top of the mountain. I never saw a documentary or anything on, oh, look at this guy. He just wandered to the top of Mount Everest. It was awesome. It doesn't happen that way. He has a plan. He trains himself. He works out. He learns do the oxygen thing, whatever they got to do to climb it. There are certain things that you have to do to teach yourself to get to where you want to go, to become the person that you want to be. And you have to know yourself. You have to know that, okay, these are the things that discourage me, and this is why I'm not going to let them. These are the people who put me down and make me stop, and I'm not going to let them. These are the reasons that I stopped trying, and these are the reasons that I'm not going to. You can choose to have the life that you want. Now, that's a huge statement if you guys think about it, because there's so many people throughout our entire lives that we meet and say, well, I still live here because this is where I am and this is what's working. Not because I choose to. I don't want to live here anymore, but I just am. You can choose to live wherever you want to. Some people just choose not to. You remember that. It's when it comes to success and being successful, you get to pick. You get to say, yes, I'm going to make it, or no, I'm not. There's people who sign up to be a consultant and give it 6 months, and if it's not working out, they quit. I've heard people say, well, I tried it, but it didn't work for me. That's not true. It didn't work because they chose for it not to. They gave up before they got started. Allow yourself to be inspired by this business. Allow yourself to be inspired by those who did it, because you know that it's possible, because you know by seeing those people that inspire you that it can happen. And remind yourself they are no different than you. Just because they've made it to where you want to be, that does not mean that you can't too. It doesn't matter if they started the first year Cincy does. It doesn't matter if they started at the same time as you did and they are more successful than you are. It's an idea in your head. Allow yourself to be inspired and use that not to make yourself think, oh, well, they did it better than me. Use it to inspire yourself and know that you can get to where you're going because it's proven. This company is proven. Success is proven, and it's there for each and every single person. So those are the reasons. Like I said, yep, it's choice. It's your choice. Make that choice today, tomorrow, the next day, every single day, because if you can get up every single day and say, you know what, today I'm moving one step closer to being the success that I want to be. Because why? Because it's my choice. It's not my girlfriend who says I can't do this. It's not her choice. It's not the 3 people I asked yesterday to have a party and they said no. It's not their choice. I'm moving forward because I want to. The things we went through, there's 7 small things that I told you guys. Make them yours. And I'm going to flip back through real quick here because I know I talk fast, and I just want to point out to you guys how you can make these things yours. Take action. Everybody's action is going to look a little bit different. What your action looks like may not be what my action looks like. Do what works for you. Make your productivity yours. When you have 15 errands to run today, I hope you're working your business when you do, because your productivity might look that way because you're a busy person. Your focus may look completely different than someone else's. You have to make these things yours. Make your positivity yours. Okay, so maybe you're not a bubbly person. Maybe you can't smile and chit-chat through the day, but you can have a better outlook on life. You can be that girl in your own way. Don't believe in failure. Now this, like I said, it looks different for everybody, so you have to make it yours. Everyone has different ideas of failure in their head, so you have to make it your own. Make a list of what you think are your failures, the things that you think, okay, if this happens, I'm a failure. Believe in yourself and make that your own. You have to own these reasons in order to be successful. And fear, everybody's scared of something different. Some people are scared of talking in front of people. Some people aren't scared at all of talking in front of people. Some people are scared to even book a party. Make it your own. Know what you're afraid of and know that it's okay. Change that mindset and make it your own. And be driven. Everyone's drive looks different. Everyone's vision looks different. Everyone's idea of the top looks different. Make it your own. No 2 successful people do it the same way. When it comes to Cincy, it's funny because those of you who have gone to convention or even been to a meeting, you look at the people who are in your idea or in your head successful, and they look completely different. When I watch those women walk across the stage at convention, the successful, quote-unquote, successful ones, no two people look the same. And I can tell you, no two people run their business the same. Find your strong points. Find the reasons that you can be successful because that's what you're good at. And remember, love this quote, the difference between a successful person and others is not lack of strength, not lack of knowledge, but rather lack of will. Will yourself to be the person that you want to be, and you will be successful. Remember these key points, and I hope to have you all on next week. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am going to hang out for questions as soon as I get the recording stopped here.